Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Double Stuff Podcast, where we're double the host, double the topics, double the fun. And I'm Alan.
I'm Sarah.
We should have given Alan a script. I'm Charity.
I'm looking around. Yeah. It's okay, because today we're going to talk about fun things from our childhood.
Aw,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So I want to know a little bit about the toys that you guys played with, perhaps riding bicycles. I know that that's something that was big for me, not only as a kid, because it expressed freedom for myself, but it was one of the big things on a short list that I had as being a dad, and I wanted my girls to do. So one was swimming.
Oh,
Need to learn how to swim. Mm-hmm. Need to learn how to ride a bike. Need to learn how to throw a ball.
Yes.
Aw, yeah.
And I don't know what else. It was a short list, so that might have been it. I mean, those were the three things that come to mind where I was like, I need to at least impart those onto my daughters so that they're going to be as successful as possible. And when I was a kid, riding a bike, I can remember, and I don't know if you guys had this experience, but bikes were super expensive. It was a big gift, and it was a Christmas gift. And I remember my first bike, which was not my own. I had a hand-me-down from Kristen, a girl's bike that lived up the street, and I rode it. I didn't care. It was just so much fun to ride a bike. And then on Christmas, I got a He-Man bike.
Oh, you got
He-Man
upgraded.
Huffy bike. Yeah. That was really, really cool.
That's when you became a man, right?
Oh, yeah. I had all the power of the universe.
I think all of our bikes were Christmas gifts too.
Yeah,
because
they were.
Because I had.
Seems like a standard Christmas
yeah,
gift.
I had a pink bike. That was when I had training wheels. So I had
I think we all
training
had-
wheels bike, and then
Yeah.
when we got older, probably teenagery or something, it was all a matching bike. I think my
They-
dad
they
just
were
like,
all
let's
exactly
just
the
get 5
same.
right down the road. But I think both times they were Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all had matching bikes, and then I remember this is when Christy, our youngest, was still a baby, because we're like, how is she going to ride that bike? Because they were all the same, so she had to kind of grow into hers for a little bit, just because she was still like a toddler, and she had like pretty much like at least an older kid's bike that obviously she wouldn't be able to ride at the time.
Did she get Kristen Kennedy's bike as well?
You know, I feel like everyone got the same.
It made the rounds. It made the rounds.
It's like,
But I do have fleeting,
Yeah.
very short memories of actually being on I don't know what that's called. It's not a car seat, but it's a bike seat. Because I can remember being in a seat behind my dad as he was riding his bike.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
And I don't know if that's even allowed anymore.
I've seen some. I mean, I guess more.
They're usually on the front now. It's like a little
Well,
carriage that
what?
you get attached to
Really?
the front. Yeah, I don't think there's
I've
like
seen
a...
trolleys,
Yeah.
like kids that are getting like towed in like a dome thing.
I mainly see those guys. It's like a little hitch that you
Yeah,
put them in the
yeah.
back.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. I'm not saying you put the car seat on the front of the bike. Like it's like a little enclosed unit where
Okay.
the child or children sit, and it's at the front of the bike. Like the little, what do you call those little pointy things on the train? They're kind of like at the bottom or whatever.
Snowcatchers or
yeah,
cow
something-
catchers
Yeah,
or
but they
something?
kind of look
Oh,
like that.
is that the official term for those?
I've heard them as cow catchers, but I don't think that's right.
I don't think you would
It's
catch the cow. There's something else would happen
Yeah.
to it.
yeah,
Well, those are supposed to get like things off of the railway, right? I'm
Yeah.
over
Oh,
here
okay.
talking about things I know nothing about. Anyway, on the front of the bike, there's like a little carriage, but it's like coned-ish shape.
I haven't
that
seen
way.
that one. Is it
Yeah.
like a more of a tricycle, like 2 wheels in the front,
See, I
or
feel
is
like
it a bicycle?
I feel like I've seen both. At least the adult has the actual bike, and yeah, like I said, the only one I've
Yeah.
seen is the hitch in the back.
I've
There
never
might
seen
be a
it in the
front
front.
one. I've never. I don't know if
think-
I've seen it in the
I
front. Now I'm
think
trying to
the kid-
remember.
I think the kid portion probably has like one big wheel in the front. See, now I haven't. Now I need to
You're just
Google it
making
because
stuff up.
no, I feel
How far
pretty.
can I go? How can I lead these
No,
guys
because
down?
I've
the
seen them
path?
before. Okay, I'm gonna Google while you guys talk. I'm gonna
Okay.
Google it.
Well,
go
also
ahead.
while you're Googling, see if it's still legal to have a toddler or a child on your bike. I wonder if that's not a thing anymore.
I don't know because it always reminds me of a rerun
Charlie Brown.
on Charlie Brown.
Yeah, I knew you were going there.
Because Rerun is Lucy and Linus's little baby brother.
Okay.
And so, because the Charlie Brown characters are always so precocious and they're speaking and stuff, there was comics of just Rerun talking while he was on the back of the bike and his mom was riding. And of course, according to the comic, she was a terrible biker, and so they were almost always crashing and stuff. But he would always have these philosophical thoughts while sitting in the back.
I guess you
Yeah.
still can. It's not a nice view for the child, but
That's true. Yeah,
you
it's
can
not very.
still-
But
Get you to the
but I
back.
guess I can understand the little it's almost like a trailer, especially for multiple kids. Because I have seen some with especially you have two little ones or
Yeah, see,
something.
there's a big wheel in the front, and it's like a
Oh, I've never
cone-shaped thing.
seen
It's almost
that.
like a
Oh.
soapbox car.
So
No, I don't
for
know.
those
I'm trying
that
to think,
are
have I seen that?
listening, which is what you're doing because we're not videoing this, so it looks like a bike. It looks like a modified bicycle. This is
Maybe
very
it's
unique.
especially made. It's probably not sold normally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a soapbox car, like back in the 60s or whatever that kids would do. And there's one big wheel in the front.
It's like a
and then the-
wheelbarrow.
Yeah,
in
and then the
front of it.
parent has the bicycle part on the back
Yeah.
half, and there's a wheel in the back.
Heck, you
You've
might
seen that? I've never seen that.
I mean, it's not like I went looking for it, but yeah,
Oh,
I've
okay.
seen those. Yeah.
you might as well just take your Fisher Price car, right, and
Yeah.
then just attach it, and then you just go full throttle
Oh, we
down
used
the
to
sidewalk.
do that. We used to the Fisher Price little Flintstone powered car. I think we used to do that. We used to also tow big wheels. Do you remember big wheels?
Kind of like those tractor looking cars.
It's a tricycle. I've seen that, and what Charity's showing me is
okay. Yes.
the hitched little buggy.
Yeah,
A
in the
buggy.
back.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
they do kind of have both because looks like there's a tandem bike. So if you have a child that's like maybe 10 years old, you can have the parent in the front, middle child in the back, and then like the baby in the little carriage thing.
That's
So there's
crazy.
you have your options if you're going to
Yeah.
be dragging children along on your bike ride.
Yeah.
So speaking of tandem bike, I've always wanted to ride on a tandem bike, and more for the comedic effect because
It's going to be funny. It's difficult.
I
If
can
you've never
imagine
done it,
because
I've done it before. It's
Have you?
difficult.
Well,
you know, I guess because everybody has to do it at once.
Well, I
right,
feel like
to
it's
get
like a
the-
rowboat. Like if you're, you have to go into the same motion. You can't just like do whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah,
and that's the difficult part is finding the balance for
The
two
rhythm,
people. Yeah.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of cartoons and a lot of Three Stooges, and they had like three on a bike. I don't know how many can go on a tandem. Probably as many as what you can weld together
Yeah,
of bikes. But
that smells like a Guinness record. I bet you that somebody has constructed a bicycle. Let's
Yeah.
Google that. Let's see
Yeah,
if there's
okay.
how many people have ever been on two wheels, and I'm sure that's a Guinness.
there's gotta be something. But
Yeah.
and admittedly, yeah, I never really fully considered because you did say it could be difficult, which I guess makes sense because you do have to. I feel like you have to be in lockstep with whoever it is behind you. Everybody has to go the same speed, right? Or they have to pedal at the same time.
I don't know if it's the pedaling so much as you have to account for the balance issues. So
yeah.
I don't know. I only did it once. It was awkward. It was like a pier, rental when you're at the beach and you rent
Oh,
it
really?
just for like an hour or something to cruise around the piers, and it was pretty dumb. I thought
I feel like it seemed like it started out with something
it wasn't
super
romantic
ridiculous.
or cute or anything like that.
The only way it would be romantic is if
it's a fight waiting to happen.
the only way it would be romantic is if you rode side by side, not one behind the other.
No, I
That could be
have
like a
seen that,
motorcycle and a
too.
sidecar. Then.
Yeah,
have seen
I
that.
think there is something. Well, I'm not sure what it would be called, but
I'm not seeing any world records,
Seems
by the
pointless
way.
to me. Oh, okay.
The only world record.
Ooh,
The only
boy.
world
Okay.
record, the only
Here
one
we
I'm
go.
seeing is like you can tandem bike like around the world sort of thing, but they're
Pass,
not.
hard
They're not
pass.
saying. No, what's that one page that you sent to me? And there's a band in like Italy or something, and there's like 6 of them on a bike, and they're all playing.
they're playing instruments. Oh, I don't remember. It was something I just randomly found on Instagram.
Yeah.
The
Anyway,
hipsters that suck.
They were.
Sorry, Italy.
Sorry, Italy.
I mean,
hipsters
I
suck you
will.
down.
I will say. I mean, they were very good, but it just shows that they had to commit to the bit. Like, okay,
Yeah.
6 of us on a bike playing instruments. We gotta make this work, or it'll just be
Yeah,
super
because
ridiculous.
nothing in our life is going real well.
Now, partially along that, was it difficult you learning how to ride a bike when you
Yeah,
were
and
first
how-
doing it?
I don't
old
remember
were
that.
you when you rode a
I was
bike?
very young.
Yeah.
I mean, we in our neighborhood, you get on a bike like really quickly. So I don't even remember learning how to bike. I remember riding behind my dad. We would go. I remember. I do remember the turnaround point after we left our neighborhood was to go to Washburn University. So we would bike to Washburn University and then turn around and then go home.
So bike around camp, or at least the outskirts of the campus.
Fleeting memories. And the only reason why I remember that is because Washburn University has a bell tower in the middle of campus or something like that. And so it would chime on the hour. I don't know if it still does, but who knows? It could have been a commemorative bell tower for when the tornado went through. I don't know.
Oh,
But anyway, I do remember that, and then jumping into riding Kristen Kennedy's bike, and then getting a He-Man Huffy bike, and then I think that was it. I don't know if I had another bike after that.
I think when we were first learning, I think me and Charity were learning around the same time. We started out with training wheels.
I don't
like
even
most
remember
kids.
that. I don't know if I had training.
Oh,
wheels.
we had gotten good at that. We were like, oh, this is great and easy. And then I don't know how long we did that. And then Daddy's like, well, we're gonna take them off. I'm like, no. I finally got good at this.
It
You know?
was funny because I don't know what the usual thing is. Is it usually the parent that's like, okay, we're taking them off, or is it the child that's like, okay, I'm ready to take them off? Because our
See, I'm
parents, it
trying to
was like
remember.
pushing you off the nest. It's like, no, we're gonna take these training wheels.
That's usually it, and it's usually a very big step for, I think, childhood development in believing that you can do something that is impossible. Like
Yeah.
I need these training wheels, and I mean that's where we get the expression you take the training wheels off. You do things that are hard in life only so that you can grow.
Yeah. Well, it's also, I mean, I know it's a bike, but it kind of teaches you, in a way, almost like fine motor skills if you put it in
Absolutely it
that
does.
context. Because one, you have to learn how to balance yourself. That's like the main object of the game. But also, while you're balancing yourself, you got to use forward motion. So,
Yeah.
So it's definitely a growing up thing. I think I want to say I was around 7 or 8. When we first learned how to do it. Before we moved into an actual house, we used to live in a trailer home, motorhome, or mobile home rather, and so we were just kind of going up and down from our house to like we had a stop sign, like maybe a few hundred feet, and we would just go from stop sign to the driveway, stop sign, driveway.
Well, it's very good of you for recognizing the road signs.
Well, if you don't know how to ride on 2 wheels, you're not gonna go too far anyway.
Go too far anyway.
It said stop. I guess I gotta go back.
Well, and that was at a time where like our mom would like be looking, she'd be like, "All right, you're going too far. You gotta come back.
You gotta
now."
be within calling distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she's, because if you're riding on a bike, which I didn't realize this, because I learned how to ride a bike without training wheels in 3rd grade. And so you mostly my mom, my dad will do it too. You know, you have to run beside
Yeah.
and hold
Yeah,
on
yeah,
to
he
the
will
seat.
hold the seat. And
Yeah,
stuff.
and so after a while, when I was becoming good, but my mom was still holding the bike, she would be like, "Oh, see, you're doing so well," and I turned, and my mom would be like chasing me because I'm riding too fast, and she can't hold on to the bike seat anymore, and so I'm like, "Oh, I guess I am going faster," but then I freak out because I'm like, "Oh, mom's not holding the seat," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Ah!" and I fall.
That's the thing. It's like if you turn your back or turn around, that's what gets you. Because and then like I'm doing it, and I realize, oh, there's no one holding me. Fall. You know, it's like that cartoon logic where you're like, there's no more ground, and then when you realize it, then that's when you
Yeah,
fall.
yeah, but if mom's supposed to be holding your seat and you're way down, come back.
So, but when we moved to our actual house, we had more street to ride around. And so by then we were both riding without the training wheels, and we were just riding bike. And so I had gotten really cocky one day.
I was hoping you'd tell the story.
I saw a tandem bike, and I said, "Today's the day. Today's the day."
I wish that was the story. So
You got me crying.
Charity's already crying, laughing.
No, because I remember this so vividly.
Okay. I got cocky one day, and I was just booking it. I am just going so fast. And part of me, I had this thought in my head, like, Sarah, you're going too fast. I'm like, no, caution to the wind. And
That's
I definitely did. And so at one point, I took a sharp turn, and it was in someone else's yard, and they had a whole row of trees.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm so laughing.
So I was about 10 at the time. Had a whole row of trees, and I was going so fast I couldn't stop the bike. The brake didn't go, so I just went forward motion.
70 miles an hour.
No. I think what happened,
And I just ran into a tree.
No, but what? Okay, because obviously I'm hearing this story differently. What she told us then, when she came back, was like, "Oh, I wanted to test the brakes." And so when you're riding a bike, you don't just go and like, because that way you're just gonna stop suddenly. You're supposed to kind of slowly touch
and
the
I
brakes.
just like.
And Sarah's like, "I just want to touch the brakes," and I squeezed them. But I just remember I happened to look up right when she did that, and I see Sarah launching headfirst into the greenery.
And it was like a cartoon moment where I did like this, and the tree was. I still have this mark. This was from because a lot of skin came off, and I still have a mark
Oh my
here.
gosh.
I still have a scar from when I was like 10 when I was trying to.
Just your body flying like Supermaning over the bike.
Oh, man. Too bad we didn't have rings back then. Otherwise, you'd have a viral video.
Yeah, for sure.
Man.
Good thing you didn't have TikTok back then, or you'd be all over the world.
It's probably
by
for the best. I mean, it would have been great viral, full of embarrassment. You know, that's our first time.
And stop. Nope.
No. You know what? I think that's my first time telling that story publicly.
Oh man.
I've had encounters with objects that didn't move. I remember I was on a bike ride with the family, and I remember looking off. This is another skill that riding a bike teaches you, just inevitably, of situational awareness at all times. And I was looking over, and I saw some teenagers that were sitting on the porch watching us. I did not see the parked car in front.
Oh,
Boom! Ran right into it. Yeah. And then, and I was confused as to what happened. And
Were
your
you in-
reaction
were you in
was
shock?
the teenagers on the porch. They just saw the best thing of the day. I mean, it was their highlight, and they were rolling. And of course, I'm embarrassed, and my dad just was like, "Come on, let's go," and just kept.
And he took the walk of shame with you, right? Like,
Yeah, we got on the
As
bike,
a father
and
should.
and I remember thinking, like, why didn't my dad stand up for me? And as a dad now, one, it was my own darn fault that happened. Two, he might have been holding back some laughter too. I don't know.
It's probably one of those he saw it coming, and it was like it just happened way too fast for
You
him
didn't
to
get a
warn
chance to
you,
react, yeah.
And it just let it play out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I remember. Yeah, I had
sickles.
I think I had skimmed both of my knees and my. Oh man.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel better, I think on a VHS somewhere there's still a video of us going sledding for the first time.
Oh
and my
yeah.
dad took us down this huge hill, and I
Yes.
started turning, and like there was only one patch of trees like to the right of us. Everything was just fresh snow, and my sled took like a sharp right, and I'm like, ah, and I'm like heading right towards the tree. So I guess our family and trees, there's some sort of magnetic thing.
I
to
do.
it.
I do remember that because I started sledding and it turned backwards, and I'm like, help, help, help!
Yeah.
And then it turned back around, and I was okay, but it looked like I was going to fall backwards.
There's something with
Well,
those
you speak.
sleds.
So, do you remember also one of the cool things? Of course, we were told not to do it, but do you guys remember after the rain riding your bike through puddles?
Oh yeah.
And spraying and then getting your back all muddy and everything. That was so much fun.
See, I don't know if we did that as much. What we enjoy doing, which I think we said in other podcasts.
Oh, I definitely rode through puddles.
I did a little bit, but what I enjoyed most was during the summer when all the neighbors have their sprinklers.
Oh,
and and we ride under the sprinklers.
Yeah, I don't remember
that's
that. Well, I don't remember doing that, but
Yeah.
man, I would tear through puddles. That's fast as I could.
Because I don't know if I was too keen on getting mud on things. So
No,
Well, yeah.
you don't like wet leaves and stuff either. So it's that
Yeah.
wet.
I think I prefer the water going over me than the water under, you
Yeah.
know.
Real quick before we end, do we have a favorite toy? We
Favorite
talked a lot
toy, that's
about
right.
bikes. Is there a
Well,
favorite
that's
toy
exactly
you
where I
have
was going to
memory
go
of?
with that. I
Yeah.
think that this was a bicycle built for 3 episodes. And
Give me your answer true.
and even though we are double the topics, I think that we had a lot of fun with bicycles. We're let's save toys for another time.
Okay, yeah, because we need Dan in on this toy.
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah, we need to talk
All
about
right.
our toys.
Okay.
Well, Sarah, do you want to tell our listeners where they can listen to this again and any other episode that we have?
Yes, maybe we'll have something that'll ring a bell.
Ring, ring.
A bike bell. Ah, that'll be really fun. Okay, I'm done.
Oh,
That was just, I should just stop with the
should
bell.
be ashamed.
But you can check us out. We have
That joke
we
was
have
tired.
over
Ah.
I feel like I spoke too soon.
Oh, okay, that was actually decent.
Yay, I redeemed myself. Okay,
Let's
so
get a handle on this, all right, guys?
Oh, Alex got to get that last one in.
get that last
He's the dad of the group. He's got to get that dad joke in.
Let's put the brakes on this one.
that's what I was gonna
Two
say.
up on you.
Tell them where they can listen to more.
Okay. What I was trying to say, turn that one around. So yeah, we have over 180 episodes, guys. So you can binge listen. You got 180 plus things to enjoy at doublestuffpod.com. And of course, we're available on all the different podcast platforms. And check us out on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Double Stuff Podcast. And of course, on Twitter X at Double Stuff P. And that's the letter P.
Bring, bring.